Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. He played a mental game with Drake, a mental game of chess, where he convinced Drake, yo, all them songs like push-ups where you're just popping shit's not gonna work. You're gonna have to get cerebral with me and start thinking.
Yeah.
Drake's viral on-stage meltdown is still echoing across the internet, and Kendrick Lamar wasted no time firing back with a moment that fans say locked the whole feud in place. During a packed show in Los Angeles, Kendrick stopped the music, looked out at the crowd, and delivered a line that sent shockwaves everywhere. With a quick smirk, he told the audience, "We don't break down on stage, we break records." The crowd lost it instantly because everyone knew exactly who he was talking about. Drake's emotional moment in Amsterdam has been replayed nonstop online, and Kendrick's line hit like a direct response without him even naming names. Within minutes, clips of that moment spread like wildfire across social media, with fans jumping into comment sections saying he won forever. This didn't even feel like a lyrical jab. It felt like Kendrick stepping to the front of the stage and confirming what his supporters have been shouting all year. People are saying he didn't even need a new verse. The timing, the confidence, and that sharp delivery did all the talking for him. Meanwhile, Drake's camp has stayed completely quiet, which has only pushed fans to speculate that there's no comeback plan in sight. And to many, the difference between the two artists has never looked more dramatic. One struggling under the spotlight while the other stands firm and confident.
If it wasn't for Pusha T, Drake and Kendrick might have never had a beef. Back in 2018, when Pusha T and Drake had a beef, Pusha exposed that Drake had a son who he was keeping a secret, and the internet decided Drake had lost that battle. And after this, Drake made his boundaries clear.
I'm sure I could say something about, your lovely lady or, a child or a family member, and you're just gonna wanna not really rap anymore.
But having learned his lesson from the Pusha T beef, Drake decided to not let Kendrick get the best of him and name dropped his fiance on his song Push-Ups.
I be with some bodyguards like Whitney, top say drop your little midget ass, better fucking.
And then each of them went back and forth with one more diss track, but then Drake decided to unload the clip and this whole beef became about dirt about each other's family lives.
Why you never hold your son and tell him say cheese? We could've left the kids out of this, don't blame me.
So without Pusha T, Drake probably would have never brought up Kendrick's family and this beef may not have escalated the way that it did. What do you think? Let me know and follow for all updates.
Every move right now seems to push more momentum toward Kendrick, and hip-hop fans are asking a question nobody expected so early in the rivalry. Is this already the end of the Drake versus Kendrick saga? And just when the dust seemed like it might settle, new updates started coming in that could change everything. Reports are circulating that Drake, his team, and even his most loyal supporters are now. It looks like Drake's side might be preparing for their next move, and with tensions climbing higher, the stage is set for one of the wildest chapters modern hip-hop has ever seen. Drake, once viewed as one of the biggest names in the entire culture, is now being labeled as the ultimate Karen, turning a simple rap clash into something nobody expected, a dramatic push for a DNA test. What started as straight-up lyrical competition has now twisted into a world of legal threats, family claims, and questions about credibility that are shaking the entire scene. This isn't just one more back and forth, it feels like the breakdown of an image that took years to build. At the center of everything is a huge question. Have Drake's choices pushed him away from what hip-hop truly stands for? Fans are saying his recent actions feel less like artistic expression and more like a mission to prove something personal, and that's casting a heavy shadow over his legacy. And the fallout isn't staying inside his circle. It's stretching far across the culture and shifting the way people think about these clashes. Traditionally, rap disagreements get settled on wax, not inside a courtroom, and this new direction is raising eyebrows everywhere. Meanwhile, Kendrick Lamar and his team haven't been flustered at all, and their calm response has created a sharp contrast that fans can't ignore. Instead of diving into the chaos, they're moving with a steady confidence that highlights the difference between focused artistry and pure desperation. This week feels like a major turning point, showing exactly what happens when a superstar built on image runs straight into an opponent grounded in credibility and long-earned respect. This whole situation is revealing something much bigger than a simple back and forth. It's showing who stands on the solid side of hip-hop history and who slipped to the wrong one. At this point, the feud isn't even the main topic anymore. It's about the standards and artistic values that shaped the culture from day one.
It sound like Jigsaw on the record. Yo, really me this, really me that. I know something about hey, are you ready now to play Have You Ever? Like, I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then all of a sudden when I'm thinking, all right, cool, like, I'm ready to put my thinking hat on for the next joint, he's like, fuck that, we back in the club. I'm like, what? And the joint is fire.
It's brilliant.
Stretching all the way back through decades of music and expression, the weight of this moment is huge because the stakes go far beyond two artists tossing shots. The entire scene is watching closely. One side is out here running wild, sharing images of another man's wife and children, trying to create some big gotcha moment that simply isn't there. Drake's camp keeps pushing piles of claims and paperwork like it proves something, but it all comes off like smoke with no real substance behind it. Meanwhile, Kendrick Lamar's corner has recognized the whole spectacle for exactly what it is: unnecessary chaos that nobody asked for. Instead of matching that energy, they stayed centered on what built their foundation: the music. No outbursts on social media, no messy theatrics, no last-minute stunts, just calm movement rooted in pure artistry. And their response was simple but powerful. They pointed everyone right back to Not Like Us, the record that became the anthem of this entire situation. Fans, peers, and viewers across the culture went right back to that track, reminding themselves where the real strength stands when the spectacle of Drake's public unraveling keeps playing out. Every new attempt to stretch this situation into something bigger than rap only pushes listeners closer to Kendrick's defining message. The more one side gets loud and chaotic, the more fans hit play on the track that flipped this whole feud upside down. And this is exactly why the culture keeps talking. While the so-called lyrical Karen turns this back and forth into a strange hunt for DNA tests, the community already made its decision loud and clear. In hip-hop, the music speaks louder than lawsuits, louder than stacks of paperwork, and louder than any dramatic distraction someone tries to throw into the mix. Once again, the record is climbing the charts all over again, reminding everyone why it became one of the biggest moments in modern rap history. And here's the part that keeps shaking the conversation.
But I wonder if he had this song in the tuck the whole time. Like, this song is a bop. I'm telling you.
He's amazing at making music.
Yo,
he mentions Family Matters in the song. So it leads you to believe either Drake does have the leak and he got Family Matters early, or that motherfucker can microwave.
No matter what Drake says he's trying to prove with his legal push, the real evidence is happening in front of everyone. The success of Not Like Us has nothing to do with bots, tricks, or machines boosting numbers. It's real demand from real listeners who keep coming back because the song hit the culture in a genuine way. For Drake's supporters, that truth is becoming harder to sit with. Every attempt to protect his image or twist the story ends up bringing more embarrassment, keeping the cycle going. What was supposed to defend his status is now backfiring badly because every emotional moment keeps shining more light on the exact track he hoped would disappear. The irony is impossible to miss. Every time Drake Karen's out, the culture responds by pressing play on Kendrick's anthem even louder. By dragging this whole situation into strange territory, Drake's actions are actually pushing the public to stream Not Like Us even more. Instead of fading out, the track keeps getting louder, stronger, and even more dominant across playlists and charts. Kendrick's side doesn't need fake numbers or tricks. The momentum is coming straight from the culture because Drake's own moves keep breathing life into the song. And that right there shows the huge difference between both sides. One side is filling timelines with endless posts, confusing statements, and layers of desperation that nobody asked for. The other side is giving one clear answer: the music. Fans are pressing play non-stop, lifting Kendrick's track and reinforcing its cultural weight every single day. Not Like Us keeps rising because it feels authentic, and no stack of courtroom filings or social media noise can wipe that out. The more distractions pop up, the more people go right back to the anthem that shaped this whole situation. And when you look at how fans view the music itself, the divide becomes even more obvious. One side is standing on authenticity and real rap energy, while the other is tangled in gimmicks, confusion, and sideshows that have nothing to do with the craft. Putting both sides next to each other makes the contrast impossible to avoid. Kendrick Lamar keeps moving with confidence, clarity, and professionalism, creating moments that actually strengthen his legacy. Meanwhile, the so-called courtside Karen of rap keeps dragging the conflict into odd new directions, making it clear who's building something real and who's chasing temporary validation. For Drake, this whole situation has only led to even deeper setbacks. His reactions keep creating illusions that leave his supporters holding on to a fantasy version of the battle, one that ignores what truly played out. Instead of shifting the narrative in his favor, every strategy keeps backfiring and locking him into the role of the desperate one in the feud. Meanwhile, Kendrick Lamar is moving in a completely different direction. Every step he takes is guided by professionalism and purpose, and he just wrapped the European leg of the Grand National Tour, his 39th performance, a run many are calling one of the strongest live stretches hip-hop has ever seen. His focus has stayed on the music, not the chaos, not the noise. Even as Drake tries pulling personal matters and family into the conversation, Kendrick refuses to step into that lane. Instead, he strengthens his position by letting the music talk, showing that real artistry doesn't need messy distractions, courtroom drama, or last-minute theatrics to stay relevant. Through discipline, performance, and pure skill, he continues to embody everything hip-hop was built on: respect, talent, and cultural truth. And bigger than all the noise is one fact that can't be denied. Kendrick Lamar just pulled off something historic, something no other rapper, including the so-called Karen of rap, has ever come close to. This achievement has earned nothing but admiration from everyone involved in the journey. SZA and Mustard especially showed major love, publicly thanking Kendrick for giving them the chance to play such an important role in this legendary run. Night after night, SZA and Mustard performed beside Kendrick, and their teamwork helped shape what many now call the biggest rap tour in history. City after city, stage after stage, the momentum kept building stronger, and the energy surrounding Kendrick became impossible to ignore. Fans, peers, and the entire culture poured in praise, and through all of it, Kendrick never broke from his artistic focus. He stayed committed to the music no matter how much chaos Drake tried to stir up. This is exactly what Kendrick meant when he once said, "You can try to manipulate the game, but you cannot fake authenticity." And that message has been proven in real time as the noise from the other side fades out, while genuine reactions and respect keep flowing toward Kendrick's work. The power comes from real people connecting with the art, not from gimmicks or attempts to manipulate the story. That's why outside all of Drake's distractions, the culture has shifted towards celebrating artistry, discipline, and authenticity. The highest praise keeps landing on Kendrick because the impact is real, and the music speaks louder than any attention-grabbing stunt someone tries to throw in the mix. And even before Drake pushed things toward legal theatrics, tensions were already rising. Through wild episodes of reckless talk and chaotic rollouts, Drake was setting the stage for exactly what we're watching play out now. One artist losing control while the other builds a historic moment. And then there's the strange Pinocchio nickname Drake keeps trying to attach to Kendrick. Even though Kendrick barely posts online, it's clear he knows exactly what's happening. Because his music and his words show just how tuned in he really is, Kendrick sees everything. But none of Drake's theatrics seem to shake him at all. While Drake keeps delivering long monologues about Kendrick during his shows, Kendrick's silence hits harder than any speech could. That quiet energy seems to frustrate Drake even more, pushing him into emotional moments and rushed decisions that only weaken how people see him. In a time where embarrassment can go viral in seconds, every slip gets magnified instantly. Kendrick refusing to step into that trap is powerful because ever since Like That dropped, he's kept his focus on one thing: the music, the artistry, the message. Nothing beyond that. He hasn't jumped into the chaotic cycle of posting impulsively, chasing attention, or damaging his credibility with petty online drama. The difference between the two sides is impossible to miss. One side is out here scrambling for DNA tests and dragging the feud into a place hip-hop has never seen before. The other side is refusing to waste energy on anything outside of expression, responding only with records, live shows, and pure craftsmanship at the highest level. And that difference is exactly why the culture continues to lean toward Kendrick. His discipline, restraint, and artistry show strength in a way that hits deeper than any viral moment. Meanwhile, Drake's constant attempts at sensational moves only reveal how desperate things have become on his end. In a clash about legacy, it's clear that authenticity will always beat spectacle. And when you look closely at what's happening right now, the entire picture becomes crystal clear. Kendrick Lamar stays locked in on the art, keeping his legendary run alive while only speaking on the Karen noise when it naturally becomes part of the story. His discipline protects the culture, lifting hip-hop higher instead of dragging it down. And every artistic moment pushes his movement forward without losing an ounce of authenticity. His silence hits harder than any rant could ever hit. It shows his persistence, his focus, and his loyalty to the craft. By staying grounded, he keeps the foundation of hip-hop alive while still pushing it into new territory with style and creativity. Meanwhile, the other side of this feud looks wild, almost like a circus falling apart in real time. All the chaotic moves and strange stunts only weaken the image they're trying to protect, and it ends up undermining everything the culture has been built on for decades. Kendrick, on the other hand, has become a symbol of creativity and discipline, keeping gimmicks far away even while his own personal life is being pulled into piles of legal paperwork. Now that Kendrick and his family are being dragged into filings, there's real uncertainty about how the label will react. But even this mess isn't slowing him down. Instead, it highlights just how far the desperation has gone on one side and how unshaken the artistry is on the other. What the opposition doesn't understand is that every move against Kendrick only fuels him more. Each attempt to undermine him becomes new inspiration, new energy, and new motivation to create even stronger work. The outcome will be bigger records, sharper verses, and an even deeper impact on the culture. Nothing is stopping that momentum. As this rivalry gets deeper, the entire hip-hop world is watching a clash that feels bigger than music itself. It's legacy versus spectacle, artistry versus desperation. Kendrick Lamar stands firm as the one representing discipline, control, and genuine respect for the craft, while Drake has placed himself at the center of non-stop chaos. Instead of responding with verses, Drake keeps leaning on lawsuits and theatrics, and the contrast has gotten so sharp that fans and industry veterans are calling this one of the defining moments in rap history. On Kendrick's side, performances, tours, and hit records are bringing together crowds across continents, reminding everyone why music will always be the heart of the culture. Meanwhile, Drake's focus on paperwork, contracts, and wild accusations is turning him into a cautionary example of what happens when ego grows louder than creativity. Industry insiders are already talking about how risky this path could be in the long run. Labels are paying close attention because if Drake manages to use lawsuits against diss records, it could flip the entire foundation of rap battles. What was once an art form built on lyrical skill, competition, and expression could suddenly become a battlefield of legal filings and censorship, something the culture has never seen before. But even with this threat hanging over the scene, Kendrick has shown everyone the right way to move. He isn't responding with countersuits or angry outbursts. He's answering with powerful music that captures the truth of the moment and keeps the culture grounded in what really matters. Kendrick's calm approach, paired with his unmatched delivery, keeps proving that hip-hop is strongest when it leans into authenticity instead of manufactured drama. The whole world is watching, and with every move, the gap between legacy and gimmick gets wider. History is being written in real time, and the choice of who truly represents the future of hip-hop becomes clearer every day. What we're seeing now makes one thing undeniable. Kendrick Lamar isn't just the greatest rapper of this generation, he's one of the greatest to ever step to a microphone in the entire history of the culture. Beyond rap, he's become one of the most important creative forces in modern media, a symbol of truth, expression, and pure artistry that stands untouched. The stakes are way bigger than one feud now. They're about who carries the torch for the whole genre moving forward. So the real question becomes, how will Kendrick keep pushing ahead while Drake, the so-called Karen, keeps falling deeper into spectacle? Will the noise from the label and the court slow Kendrick down, or will it just make him move with even more power? Every sign points to Kendrick sticking with the same things that have always defined him: the music, the message, and the unshakable artistry that separates legends from distractions. This is the moment where the culture is choosing whose story will stand strong and whose collapse will be remembered as a warning. And as everything settles, Kendrick's silence and consistency speak louder than any legal move or dramatic rant ever could. Now it's your turn to jump in. What do you think about Kendrick's response compared to everything being thrown at him? Where do you stand on this whole Karen situation, and how do you see the next part of this saga unfolding? Now, drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you made it all the way to the end, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another deep breakdown into the twists and turns shaking hip-hop today. See you in the next video.